You ever have that feeling where you know exactly what you want to say, but the perfect word is just stuck, like it's right there but blurry?
Oh, absolutely. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really where having a bigger vocabulary helps, isn't it? It's not about showing off, really.
No, not at all.
It's about having, like, sharper tools so you can communicate with more precision. You get that crystal clear picture instead of the blur.
That's it, exactly. So, yeah, in this deep dive, we thought we'd unpack 10 pretty interesting words that can add that sharpness. The goal isn't just, definitions, but understanding the specific feel they bring.
Right. Think of it like upgrading your communication toolkit. Each word gives you a slightly different angle, a way to say something more effectively than maybe simpler words allow. Adds layers.
Okay, let's kick things off. How about a word we hear quite a bit? Ubiquitous. When something's ubiquitous, what does that really mean to you, beyond just common?
Yeah, it's definitely more than just common. Ubiquitous implies it's just everywhere, almost unavoidable, It gives you that sense of pervasiveness.
Pervasiveness, right. So instead of just saying smartphones are common, which is true, saying smartphones are ubiquitous in today's world, you'll see them in nearly every hand and pocket. That ubiquitous really hits home how inescapable they feel now.
Exactly. It captures that near universal spread. You basically can't get away from them.
Okay, makes sense. Now let's flip that. What about when clarity isn't the goal? Let's talk about obfuscate. What's the core idea there?
Well, obfuscate is essentially about making something unclear, muddling it. And often there's an intention behind it, right? To maybe hide something or avoid a straight answer.
So it often implies someone's doing it on purpose, not just like bad communication.
Often, yes. While you can unintentionally confuse things, obfuscate usually carries that hint of deliberate murkiness. It can make the listener feel frustrated, naturally.
Yeah, I bet. You can't quite grasp what's being said. Leads to uncertainty, maybe even mistrust.
Precisely, if you feel someone's deliberately trying to confuse you.
Gotcha. So a good example. Instead of the politician's speech was confusing, maybe the politician's speech seemed designed to obfuscate the truth.
And avoid answering direct questions.
Yeah. That phrasing strongly suggests intent. It's more analytical.
Okay. Now the next one, esoteric, always sounds a bit exclusive, like something secret. What exactly makes something esoteric?
Esoteric points to knowledge or interests that are really only understood by a small, specialized group. Things that require a lot of background or specific study.
Like deep academic fields or really niche hobbies.
Exactly. Think quantum physics for most people, or maybe like the rules of a very complex board game only enthusiasts know.
Right, so it requires initiation almost. What's the effect of that? Does it create barriers?
It can, yeah. It allows for incredible depth within the group, which is great for progress in that field. But it can definitely exclude outsiders, make wider understanding difficult. Interesting trade-off. So for that physics example, instead of just quantum physics is hard, you could say.
Quantum physics can be an esoteric subject for most, requiring years of study to fully grasp. It highlights that it's not just complex, but also kind of closed off to the uninitiated.
Right, inaccessible without the key. Okay, let's shift some words with a more negative feel. Pernicious. That one sounds sneaky. What kind of harm are we talking about?
Pernicious harm is the kind that's subtle. It works gradually, often causing damage over a long time without you even noticing it at first. It creeps up on you.
So not a sudden hit, but like slow erosion. Why is that particularly dangerous?
Well, because it's easy to ignore in the early stages, isn't it? The bad effects aren't obvious right away, so people might not act until, real damage is done.
That makes a lot of sense. So the classic example, smoking has a pernicious effect on your health, slowly damaging your lungs over time. It's not just bad, it's this insidious long-term thing.
Precisely. It nails that gradual, often hidden damaging process.
Okay. Now, sticking with negative situations, when things just get worse, that brings us to exacerbate. How does that work?
To exacerbate something is just to make an existing problem or a bad situation even worse. It's like adding fuel to the fire, intensifying it.
And is that always on purpose, or can you just stumble into exacerbating things?
Oh, it can definitely be unintentional. Often it's a side effect of doing something without thinking through the consequences. But yeah, it can be deliberate too. Either way, it makes things harder to fix.
Right. Like arguing in the middle of a heated discussion only served to exacerbate the conflict. The argument didn't start the conflict, but it made the existing one much worse.
Exactly. It pinpoints the action that worsened things.
Okay, so we've done making things worse. What about the opposite? Making things less bad. That's where mitigate comes in, right?
Yes, mitigate is about lessening the severity or seriousness of something negative, reducing the impact.
So it's about damage control, or maybe prevention.
Both, really. Taking steps to lessen harm. Think about safety measures to reduce accident risk, or like the example here.
The medical one. Instead of the medicine helped the pain, you could say the doctor prescribed medication to mitigate the pain after the surgery.
Exactly. It focuses on the purpose of the medication to reduce the pain's severity, lessen its impact.
Got it. Okay, moving towards awareness now. Cognizant. What's the difference between just knowing something and being cognizant of it?
Being cognizant suggests a deeper level of awareness. It implies you really understand something, including its implications, maybe the risks involved. It's more mindful than just knowing a fact.
So a more active, thoughtful awareness. When is it really important to be cognizant?
Well, anytime there's risk involved or important decisions, ethical stuff, you need to be fully aware, fully cognizant of what you're getting into and what the potential outcomes are.
That makes sense. So she knew about the risks versus she was fully cognizant of the risks involved in the project and took every precaution. The second one implies a much deeper understanding guiding her actions.
Precisely. It emphasizes that informed awareness.
Okay, next one feels energetic. Alacrity. Doing something with alacrity, what's that like?
Alacrity is all about cheerful willingness, eagerness. Doing something promptly and enthusiastically. It's got a positive, happy energy to it.
Oh, so it's not just doing it, but doing it quickly and with a good attitude, like you're genuinely happy to.
Exactly. It leaves a really positive impression, suggests motivation, maybe even enjoyment. It makes things feel more efficient, more pleasant.
Right. So the example, he accepted the invitation with alacrity, eager to attend the concert with friends. It's not just he accepted quickly, it's that joyful eagerness.
Yes, it captures that cheerful promptness perfectly.
Almost done. Next up, tenacious. What kind of person or effort is tenacious?
Tenacious describes someone or an effort that's really persistent, determined. Someone who doesn't give up easily, even when things get tough. They hold on firmly.
So it's that sticking with its quality, fighting against the odds. How important is that?
Often absolutely crucial for success, wouldn't you say? Big goals, difficult challenges, they usually demand a lot of tenacity to see them through.
Yeah, definitely. So instead of just she kept trying and succeeded, you'd say her tenacious attitude helped her achieve success despite many challenges. Really highlights that determined spirit.
Exactly. It emphasizes that unwavering resolve that got her there.
And finally, our last word for this deep dive, ephemeral. What sort of things are ephemeral? Sounds a bit poetic.
Yeah, it does have that feel, doesn't it? Ephemeral just means temporary, lasting for a very short time, fleeting things.
Like the example here, the beauty of a sunset is ephemeral.
Lasting only a few moments before the sky changes.
Exactly. Think of mayflies, or a particular mood, or the foam on a wave. Things that are beautiful or notable because they don't last.
So there's a kind of value in recognizing that fleeting nature.
I think so. It can make you appreciate the present moment more, maybe value those transient experiences. It gives perspective, too, perhaps. That's a nice thought. Okay, well, there we have it. 10 pretty powerful words. Ubiquitous, obfuscate, esoteric, pernicious, exacerbate, mitigate, cognizant, alacrity, tenacious, and ephemeral. Quite a list.
It is. And each one, offers a slightly different shade of meaning.
Yeah.
Using them well can really make your communication clearer, more precise, more impactful.
Absolutely. So the encouragement for everyone listening is to, try them out. Notice situations where one of these words might fit perfectly. See how they feel in your own writing and conversation.
Yeah, building your vocabulary isn't just about memorizing lists. It's about getting a richer set of tools to express yourself more vividly, more accurately.
Well said. Keep exploring language, keep refining those tools, and until our next deep dive, keep learning.